Hey everyone, this is Balo, and for this video we're going to dive into the last topic for this series when it comes to like the crude using block or qubit, and covering also some of the Flutter widgets that we used. And for this particular video, we're going to focus on themes, how to customize the themes sa widgets mo, setting the colors, and also the typography, how to customize the default settings ng text dito. But before we dive into that, let's just go to our tawag nito. Let's talk a bit of theory sa material design, kasi everything you see right here is based on Google's material design. And of course, since nakaset to true yung material natin, so it's going to create a theme data that's used to configure theme. Basta everything you see here is material design. Lahat ng mga guidelines dito, even the color, the font, this is Roboto. Roboto yung default na font family na ginagamit for the one. Even yung guidelines in setting the colors. But anyway, diba, as you can see in our program, naka-deep purple yan. Yung seed color niya or yung baseline color niya. So, once you set, using the from seed, once you set the color to, let's say, a specific material color, deep purple, and that's going to give you color to all widgets, let's say for example this floating action button or fab, meron tayong light na purple and dark purple to contrast, kasi usually background color and foreground color should be contrast, the one is this yung plus icon has a darker variation ng colors, deep purple. And even yung mga menus dito, hindi siya ganun kahalata, but this is also purple din. And then when we click this one, meron din siyang even the outline borders, and even itong yung mga naka-highlight dito, once we click this, so even this one, yung contrasting, I don't know ano yung naka-assign dito na color role. I will talk about color roles, but mag-a-adjust siya, kung deep purple. And if we're going to set this to a different material color, let's say green, kasi money related naman yung application ko, or how you change the colors depends on your logo, sa branding ng business nyo, more on the branding. So if we go back right here, click nyo, notice that it's going to change, everything's going to change, even itong even this iba na yung niya, color for the PM, So anyway, how is that possible? It's because of this from seed. What this does is gives us a shortcut. Kasi if we're going to create a color scheme from scratch, you're gonna have to provide the specifications or specific colors for each of these, for primary, on primary, container, so on and so forth. And by the way, these are what we call color roles, which we'll also dive into right here now. So to give you an idea, these are all the color roles, and each of these color roles, primary, on primary, primary, container, they are assigned to each and every UI widget. Like let's say for example itong up bar, yung background color niya is assigned to the surface, the color scheme. So as we can see, yung surface is color white, so therefore white yung background ng up theme, and that's what you can see in here, white siya kasi surface yung default na niya. And I think itong I don't know if So yung sa floating action button, and this is just based on, I don't know if how accurate this is, but based sa kanyang answer, primary role, color role yung naka-assign sa background color. So that's why green siya. But I think yung correct, if I'm not mistaken, this is probably primary container. Kasi kung primary, dapat this should be a bit darker, no? This is my guess lang to. Primary color yung nakaset sa background, and yung icon is on primary container. Usually mag-ano yan, magkapares yan. If one is primary, the other one should be on primary. So yan, again, each and every UI widget, lahat ng mga, even the icons, they're assigned to a specific color role. And as you can see also in other, let's for example, itong chips, background color, yung na-assign sa kanya for the background color is ColorScheme secondary. For the selected, no, pag may napiling chip, yung background color niya will be based on whatever the color is assigned sa ColorScheme secondary. And if you check that, if for example yung seed color and yung base color is deep purple, most likely this is the color that will be assigned secondary. Ito, parang gray, no? Now, we can actually dive into yung iba-ibang categories ng color roles. We have surface. This is usually for the backgrounds. Primary, secondary, tertiary. These are the accent colors to emphasize or de-emphasize foreground text. And we also have container na roles. This is for the fill colors for foreground elements like buttons. And then meron tayong on. Yung nga, role starting with this term indicates a color for text and icons on top of its paired parent colors. So yun. So for example, if on primary is used for the text and icon against the primary fill color. So here's an example yung ibig niyang sabihin. Okay. So this one, yung 1, this is the primary. Yung 2 is yung white. This is on primary. I think this is ano kaya naka-assign dito. Yeah, in this example, 2 buttons map primary, tapos I think this is also on primary ata to. 1, 2, 3, 4. Anyway, let's go to each of the color roles. The primary roles is for prominent components like yung fab, floating action button, high emphasis buttons, and active states. So next is yung, ayan, here's an example yung ibig kong sabihin. Like this button, no? On primary, yung background color niya, yung text is primary yung background, number 2. Yung for the text is on primary. Yan. As for this one, yung sa elevated na button, this one, yung slightly light na the purple is naka primary container, and then yung text niya for the compose is on primary. So yun, this is for the foreground, and this is for the background ng itong button na to. So yun, always, no, kung meron kang inassign na color role for a particular widget, dapat yung this is for the background, no, yung foreground na yung sa text dapat should be on. See, on primary, on primary, primary container, on primary container. So dapat ano, yan yung convention, no. Now this one is a different, no. Another this one is secondary color role, no, for less prominent components, and usually for like yung filter chips. Yan, let's say ito. Yan, filter chips, no. So icon, yung 1 and 2. lang ha. Yan. Yung icon tsaka yung button naka on secondary container sila. Secondary container. Bali yung background, yung white, no, this is the container. On secondary container is for yung mga ano, yung mga text and icons dito. And then we have tertiary. Then we also have for errors. Yan. So just gonna have to read yung documentation on how to like properly actually wala namang hard and fast rule dito. Kasi for example, no, as mentioned, diba, yung up bar, yung background color niya is based on the color scheme surface. What if gusto ko siyang bigyan ng color, no? And I want all, even itong up bar na to, this is up bar naman. And then when I click this, up bar din to. What if gusto ko silang bigyan ng color, no? I want to change the color to green. And as you know naman, we have different syempre primary yung pipiliin ko kasi yun yung pinaka main color for the brand, no? Green, no? So I have a lot of options right here. Pwedeng primary container, pwedeng primary fixed, on primary fixed variant. There's even inverse na primary. So what we're going to do is first we're going to delete this and mag-error yan. Don't worry, because we're going to create a new file, and this is like the common practice kasi once you customize your themes, it's gonna be very long, and we don't want that to get mixed up dito kasi we have some codes here put in for the UI. Later you'll see what I mean, but we're going to create a class, global theme data, and then this class contains the following: static final color scheme, and then we're going to create a color scheme using the kailangan ko pa tong import, and then we will call the from seed so that this will generate actually before that we can actually create this from scratch, no? Like eto, no? If you want to be very specific on the choice of colors for the primary, on primary, secondary, so on so forth, pwede naman. But if you don't like to ma-hassle, you can just use yung ito. It's either from seed, from swatch, from image provider. Pwede yung from seed kasi isang color lang naman yung hinihingi niya. And we will choose anything as long as a material color. Pwede na naman, there's no hard and fast rule. Pwede naman ibang color, but I prefer na lang yung material colors, no? And then I'm going to create a theme data. So let's do theme data, and then now as I mentioned, I'm going to kailangan nakaset to true yung material para material 3 yung natin themes. So for the color scheme, we'll set it to the color scheme that we created sa taas. Okay, this one, ito. Okay. Now for the up bar, and if we control space this, we can actually set the themes for each and every UI widget no, we have for the up bar, we have for the bottom up bar, bottom navigation, even the cards, the checkbox, the chip, the date picker, ano pa ba, yung floating action button, almost every widget na menu, no? Even yung navigation, the elevate, asan yung elevate button theme, yan, no? If you want to let's say for example up bar, as I mentioned kanina, I want all up bars to look the same, color green sila. So up bar theme, you just change this property and then use this constructor, and now sa background color nya, we're going to use the color scheme that we created kanina. Since this is already naka-generate na to ng mga color palette, no, iba-ibang variations, lahat na primary, on primary, container, lahat ng mga color na to has already been configured within this color scheme. Yung gagawin na lang natin is to choose what color role are we going to use, no? And I'm going to use primary container. For the foreground, which is yung text and icons on top, if I use primary container, again you use the opposite of that, yung contrast nya, which is on primary container. And then let's save and let's see what's gonna happen. Oh yeah, of course may error path because we have to use this light theme data. So yung gagawin natin is we will call our class na global theme data and then period light theme data. And then yeah, we also need to set the theme mode to theme mode.light mode, so that regardless yung whatever is the settings ng device ng phone ng user, whether it's naka-automatic siya na mag-change, because some users like prefer na always naka-light mode yung phone nila. Other users want their phone na automatic na nag-change yung theme ng phone nila. Light sa umaga, dark mode sa gabi, and that's why you notice Facebook also nag-change yung theme niya from light to dark background. That's because of the settings of the phone. But if we want the application to be in always light mode regardless kung umaga pa yan or gabi, this is what this purpose of this theme mode, no? It would always be light mode, and definitely yung background, yung surface will always be white kahit gabi. Yung device, yung mobile device ng user. So anyway, we already imported or used yung na-create natin na theme from our theme right here, light theme data. Oh yeah, forgot pala yung ano. We have to also specify din just to be safe lang, no? Or sure, no? Brightness. I think yung brightness niya, sige, I'll just set na lang to be sure, no? Brightness light, so that yung mag-generate niya na color scheme is intended for light mode. And let's see what's gonna happen with our application. Yan, so ito yung ibig kong sabihin, that all up bars will look exactly the same based on what primary container, yung background, yung text medyo dark green siya, that's because nakaset yan to on primary container. And if we click, ayan, so for the add new expense, ganun din. For this view expense, same din yung ano niya. Now let's try other color roles. Let's say I think we also have inverse, primary. Let's see if meron bang on inverse. Ayun. Ay, wait. Wala siyang on inverse, ano. Let's try surface. Ano yung itsura nito? Yan, it's gonna look like this. And let's try how about primary? So you can just explore ikaw na bahala kung ano yung trip mo. Yan. So yun, as what is expected right here. See, diba? Primary, darker siya na color, and then yung text is going to be white. Yan yung color ng on primary. White. Yung primary is darker na variation ng green. So yun, let's try one more. No? Primary fixed. And sige, meron pa. Primary fixed and on primary fixed. Let's see what's gonna yan. So yun. Yeah. Anyway, let's try another one. No? How about itong add expense? Medyo hindi siya dominant, no? And as mentioned, going back, no, sa dito sa documentation niya, if you want some components like floating action button to be dominant, no, or emphasized, you could use primary, on primary container, or on primary container. And let's say, for example, I want to change this add expense, and I want it to be applied to all elevated buttons. Yan. Elevated button, and then it's gonna ask for a button style, and then sa button style it's gonna ask for a foreground. The foreground will be color scheme. So we're going to use the color scheme from above ito, and then on primary container. Oh, sorry. Ano pala, mali pala. Asyado tayo excited, no? Widget state muna, and then yung loob nitong widget state all, yun na yun. Ano ba yun? Color scheme dot on primary container. Pero yung background should be color scheme, widget, pero color scheme dot primary container. Yan. So again, on primary. Yan. And then let's see. So yan yung magiging itsura ng natin, button style. Yan. Okay, so now let's focus din naman on the text, no? Kasi mamaya na to. Let's go to theory naman with the typography, kasi sa material app meron tayong 5 categories of type scale, and this is from the largest to the smallest. Display, headline, and actually if you open pa, each category is meron din silang variation din. Display large, display medium, display small, even yung headline, large, medium, small. And if you check this diagram right here, yung table, yan, this is what it will look like, no? The size, as you notice, is pababa. The largest is display large, then line height, the line weight, the weight, meaning ng weight is yung gaano kakapal siya, gaano ka bold yung text. And yun, you can check also if you want, no, yung this is the font weight niya, font size, line height. That is for the display large, ha. It's for the display medium. Yan yung default na settings nila for each text scale. But usually, if you recall sa HTML, di ba meron tayong H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6. Parang ganun din yung concept. I think this one is H1, this one H2, H3. But sa material design, it gives us more like varieties. Display, mayroon pa talagang mas specific pa talaga na mga type scaling under the display. Now, yun na nga, just like in HTML or even in graphics design, meron tayong H1, H2, H3, H4. Usually, we assign the bigger text styles, text scales like in display for mga, for example, titles, no? Like this. Headline is for like, for smaller screens, marking primary message and text. Titles for headlines, and then we have for body for para sa mga text like paragraphs, and then we have labels. This is like the H6 ng HTML, the smallest, no, usually for not so important na mga text like labels or captions. So yan, and the reason that I'm going to that I orient you with the different text typography na mga text scales or styles is because, di ba, if you check, no, ito, for example, itong text na to, these are the same in style, no. In fact, yung default nila is body medium. Even yung if we go to our widgets natin, hindi pa nga natin to na sa style, no. So if I run this empty state, okay, let's just wait for a couple of minutes. But I'm pretty sure since hindi ko pa to na set, no, this is intended for title, no, sa empty state. So this is going to take a while, and please bear with me for a moment kasi hindi ko to na prepare, unlike this one kasi kanina pa tong naka-open. And yun, that's my advice na whenever you create applications, much better if you leave it running, kasi once you exit that tapos i-run mo siya ulit, it's gonna take a while for it na ma-display. And so yeah, let me just display this once again kasi same sila ng style, no. And again, as I've mentioned, if we go to style, theme of, and then text style, text theme, if we check the documentation, yan, you can navigate each text style right here sa these are like, ayan, meron silang these are for longer passage for screens. Yun, if you ever forget, no, you can check yung yung purpose ng each text scale, no. But let me go to body medium kasi ito yung default style for all text, no. So ito, naka body medium yan by default. And now, yung point ko dito is, di ba gusto natin tong palakihin. So rather than nakasanayan na where we usually use text style and then we just set yung font family or yung font size, and then we kind of do this for all wait lang for example gawin natin 18. Yan, okay. But we also want to apply the same effect then kasi itong this is also parang some sort of the same sila ng style, yung error state saka yung empty state. Ganito yung gusto natin, mas malaki and mas supposed to be mas makapal, no? Rather than copy pasting whatever yung nilagay mo dito tapos ipe-paste mo yan dyan. Okay. I don't want na this approach kasi I would rather do this. I'll select instead ano yung gusto kong text scale, no? So we go to text theme and then let's say I want this to be title large. And yan, so yan yung magiging itsura niya. And then I'll just copy paste that. And since same lang naman sila with this one, yung mag-ano sila. Oh yeah, tanggalin mo tong cons yan. Yan. Same sila ng kumbaga this is sort of like if this was HTML, this one is H3 din to. So yun, you can do that. Yun. Yan, para consistent, no, yung font ng ano mo. And if you're not contented with this, no, yung title large, you can always go to the theme and you can actually configure yung mga default settings ng text themes, no. So you go to it should be text theme, and diba this is title large, diba, and if I'm not contented with that, pwede naman title large, and then I set the text style for that, and I want, let's say for example, yung font weight to be mas makapal, no. Let's say 900, something like that. Oh yeah, so wait lang ha. Let me just go here and save ko yan. I think hindi siya was it title large? Nakalimutan ko na talaga. Did I set to title large? Yeah, title large to. Title large. Let's see. Let's see if color. I think color is that red. I'm just double checking lang, no. Di siya no. Oh, sige, na lang. Basta yun yung main point ko dyan. Let's try body medium. Close lang natin to. But yung main point ko dyan is if you're not contented, no, with the settings, with the default settings for sa type scales, no, yung body medium, body large, title large, you can always lang naman, let's say body medium, yung text style niya is sumobra tayo ng font weight, ganito na lang para klaro. Let's try colors.red. Yan. So diba sabi ko lahat by default yung mga text is red, ay ka ng body medium, no? So pag kinlik ko to, yan, these are body mediums. So naka-red sila. Lahat. Yan. If you're not contented, you can override the default settings ng ano, and if you want to, there's a lot of things that you can do with text style, no? Background color, font size, font family, font weight, gaano kakapal. But yeah, let's try another one. I want this to be smaller, no? So, ang gusto kong gawin dito sa label is I'm going to visit view expense row, and I want this to be smaller kasi label nga to siya. Wait lang, let me just revert this back to normal kasi ang pangit ng ano, ng body medium. But yeah, nasaan na ba tayo? We go right here. So again, rather than setting the text at the style, I would rather use new style to a certain text theme, text style. I would rather assign it to a specific type scale. So text theme, and then gusto ko siyang label large. Yan. So think of this is like etong text na to naka H6 siya. H6 kasi yung H1 is yung pinakamalaki, yung pinaka small is H6 if I'm not mistaken. So yun, now you can see di siya halata, no? So let's label medium. Let's see if ano. Ayan, so now you can clearly see the difference between this one whose default style is body medium, tapos ito change ko or yung style niya to label medium. So mas maliit na siya compared to this. And yun, now you can always set, let's say for example, for this, although naka body medium siya, but I want this to be very specific, that's the time that you could use a text style. Like if you want this widget, etong widget lang alone, you want it to give it a specific style, so that's the time you could override, you use it with a specific text style. But I would suggest use assign all of your text, no? If kung body siya, you don't have to specify kasi body medium yung default. But like yung kanina yung ginawa ko, yung mga titles dito, if I want them to be a bit bigger than this one, yun, you could set this to title large. And if I'm not contented with the default settings of title large, I can always override that with the theme. Yan, yun. And you can also just like wait lang. Yeah, I guess that would be, that's pretty much it. So di ko na patatagalin yung ano kasi there are a lot of things pa that we could do with theming, but this is the basics, no? Again, this is how you apply themes globally, no? When you set the up bar theme, this is going to affect all up bars, and if you're going to set the theme for the elevated button, lahat ng elevated buttons will be like this. But again, you also have the freedom to override or put specific styling to a specific elevated button, to a specific up bar. So you can always go let's say for this view view all, no, I don't want it na I want this to be very specific. So di ano, pwede ko namang ano, override yung background color niya, gawin yung colors that red, and it's gonna be different from the rest of the up bar. Yan. Tapos pag kinlik ko to, this will green. Yan, green. Yan, you can always do that. But yeah, that would be all for this video, and in the future series will probably feature other stuff like authentication or maybe other advanced Flutter widgets. But for now, this is like the essential ingredients that you're gonna need in order to create a crude application, a crude mobile application. So yeah, that would be all for this video, and hope to see you in the next videos. Bye bye.